edition of a celebration of many cultures, now miles apart, but we do have music and meditation today. I hope you were able to grab a French pastry, a Napoleon or macaron, and enjoy our final program from France. Please use your imagination today and pretend that you are in a glorious French church in the late 1600s, and you would have witnessed the Mass being sung in part by the choir or congregation, and then the verses of the Kyrie and Gloria would alternate with composed pieces, this time by François Couperin. And a lot of the pieces have specific sounds in mind, and that is how they get their titles. But this particular piece is an offertory, and the offertory allowed the organist to be more improvisatory and perhaps to show off a bit. So this is Sur le grand jeu on the big stops. The piece was written for the convents or the religious community. His other Mass was written for the parishes. And these were written when he was in his 20s, and he really didn't write many more compositions after that, but these are glorious, glorious pieces. So there came the Age of Reason, and organ music fell out of favor, especially church music. And for almost 150 years, the pieces perhaps that accompanied the Mass were trivial. They were marches or dances. And in the 1800s, the middle of the 1800s, comes a figure, an organ building figure, Cavaillé-Coll, who revolutionized the sound of the organ. And he wrote, he increased the pedal division. Perhaps you noticed I didn't use many pedals. The only time I used it was to help the reaches in my hand. But he made the pedal division more important, and he made the organ more of an orchestral instrument. So César Franck dedicated this piece to Cavaillé-Coll, the Pastorale, and the piece is in 3 sections. The first section reminds you of nature in its perfect state, and everything is well in the world. And then the middle section is the storm. And then the storm clears, and we're back to our happy self in nature. But this time, the two melodies that were in the first section are combined in the second section, so he puts them together. And finally, we have a piece by Mulet, and that piece was written in the early 1900s. It really shows off the orchestral quality of the organ and the big pedal sound from the Cavaillé-Coll style instruments. so pleased to introduce the Reverend Christa Moore-Levesque, who will offer the meditation.
When Molly asked me to speak today for music, meditation, and Munchies, I know it is because I was a French and Francophone studies major at Hobart and William Smith. While I absolutely loved my choice of major, I haven't used it much since I graduated almost 10 years ago. I do have a 1.5-year-old who has some French vocabulary picture books that I read to him all the time. But as far as French literature, poetry, or music goes, I'm not quite on top of my game. That said, I think what connects us to music, meditation, and Munchies is the music that Molly offers each month, regardless of what country it came from. Particularly during this time of pandemic, we can all relate to the immense joy and peace that music can bring to our hearts. Music moves us, and during this time of physical distancing, it is so hard to be without others, to sing with, to play with, or just be with as we experience music. Being apart hasn't stopped the world from creating beautiful music together. The National Orchestra of France performed a physically distanced and shortened rendition of Le Bolero de Ravel, where each musician played from home and the submissions were brought together to form the full piece. One drummer, who of course did not have his drum set at home, used a wooden spoon and ladle as drumsticks and 2 chairs instead of his kettle drum. Clearly, not even a pandemic can stop musicians from making music. If you are familiar with communal singing or playing of an instrument, you can imagine how difficult it is to play by yourself when you're so used to listening to all the other parts surrounding you. And that's why these pieces move me so deeply. Musicians are recording themselves alone, but then through the magic of technology, they come together to form the piece as it was meant to be heard. In that moment, you realize that you're not, in fact, alone, but you are with others in a profound and truly moving way. As I watched this music and this video come together on YouTube, I saw in the title the hashtag Ensemble à la maison, together at home. We may have heard a lot of this over the past 8 weeks, together at home. That's how the French orchestra categorized their musical number, but it's also how I see the music that we listen to today at Music, Meditation, and Munchies. We are together in our appreciation of Molly's organ music while being in our homes. Music and modern technology bring us together. And I am grateful that we are still able to appreciate this last MMM of the season, Ensemble à la maison. Listening to music, making music, and loving music is what has us experiencing this program today. I hope during continued time at home that you are able to find ways that music can bring about immense joy and a sense of peace in your lives. Even if you have to use the kitchen ladle and 2 chairs, make music, enjoy music, and love music. And when we can gather again to listen to music without a screen in front of us, may it be that much sweeter.